know, what I quite had in mind, you know, I was going to come up with my evil laugh.
Oh, wow.
I was like the Dr. 7-Up guy, you know, the big, tall guy.
It's okay.
I use that sometimes to embarrass my kids, too. It's very effective. I encourage you all to try it with your kids, especially when in a theater. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from Cliff, who goes back 25 years, I believe it was, back to when you were a practicing engineer, probably more than that even.
Oh, long time ago.
Okay, more than 25 years, but we don't
Insurance
want
is 25 years.
25 years in insurance, so. But I relate to him from the engineering standpoint, because I love the numbers, and that brought us both into similar fields. He is now an insurance agent extraordinaire. He's going to take lesson number 5 out of the Advanced Communication Manual, which says to take an abstract concept, perfect for insurance, is it not? And through examples and abstracts and quotes, bring it to life for all of us. So today, we have the title of his speech being Recycle Your Money, Cliff Craft.
Thank you. Good morning, OC coaches. Good morning. First, I'd like to get you involved here. How many of you are recycling your cans and your bottles and newspapers and so on and so forth? It's pretty common today. Everybody does that, right? Now, how many of you are recycling your money?
Even if it goes from one hand to the next, that's we can pass many hands.
I mean, if I buy something and return it.
No. Just be a little old-fashioned, like when I was young, when they were going to buy something, you saved for it. When you buy a car, you saved for it. I mowed lawns to buy my first car. The crazy part was, my dad chose the car, not me, even though it was my money, which I was thankful for because I became the popular one because my car never broke down. So lots of times I was bringing other people back from parties and so forth. Anyway, so to recycle your money, you need a safe place to put it. One of the safe places is to give it to Dan and his bank, right? FDIC, very safe, secure. Unless somebody robs the bank, it's yours. You get it covered anyway because the FDIC, the government's going to pay for it, right? And that's what we used to do. They used to be real popular to have Christmas savings accounts. And then people would save for Christmas. And in those days, that's all they spent for Christmas. Now we got credit cards. And we spend more than we have, don't we? Some people were raised in the Depression. The banks folded in those days, and you lost your money before FDIC came about. People would put their money in the coffee cans. We've come across a lot of people that have passed away, and they go and look at their house, and wait a minute, here's all this money. In fact, I've read articles where there was millions of dollars from some of these old folks when they passed away. Whoa. Now, my object is to tell you and teach you that you can use cash value life insurance as your safe, secure, saving place to put your money. Now you say, oh, wait a minute, I hear that's too expensive, don't ever do that. Or, don't buy cash value life insurance, whole life insurance, buy term and invest the difference. And there's a lot of examples nowadays, now that the stock market corrected itself, where people have gone back and proven that's not necessarily the case. So, my bucket is cash value life insurance. Now there's basically two. You have whole life and you have the new universal life. The universal life by definition has a flexible premium. And recently I did a lot of work with some older folks who unfortunately had those policies that were designed incorrectly by their agent. So they become 70, 75 years old, the policy's gonna crash and burn. So you have to be careful. You have to have an agent or the manager of the agent or somebody that helps design these policies so that they don't fall apart, especially when you need them. In fact, one of my guys I was helping, he actually just passed away. But he passed away before it crashed and burned. And so his wife is gonna get the $100,000. But it was on that point of not working right. So how are you gonna get your money out? So you put the money all in this premiums. There's two ways of getting money out. You either cash in part of the policy or you borrow against it. Because why do I want to borrow? You borrow, in some policies you may pay 4, 5, 6% interest. Other policies, after a few years, it's 0% interest. So it doesn't matter. I say in the policies I put together, borrow the money, pay yourself back. We use cars because everybody buys cars. And we say, okay, take the money out to buy your car, figure out what it would cost you if you bought it from the bank, and pay yourself that plus a few more dollars. Reason being, later in life, you want to be able to pull this money out tax-free. It's growing tax-free, it comes out tax-free. And that's what caught my attention because I was run over by the IRS a few years ago. When I hear or see anything that's going to save somebody taxes, boy, I gravitate right to it. So you can pay yourself back plus interest, and now you're recycling your money. You borrow it again, you pay it back, you recycle it in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. This was a case of, this is another introduction that I was using before I came up with the recycle your money. Here's our income, and this is the average of where people are today. 18 to 20% is going for taxes, pay off debts 30, 35%, lifestyle is 40, 45, 42%, and most people were only saving like 1%. So we took this family, we evaluated them, we brought this, before the debt was 9%, we brought it down to 8.1%. We got the savings from 3 to 7%. Additional benefits. So now you have this life insurance policy which has a death benefit, which is wonderful. We all need that. But now you have this block of money, 100,000, 200,000, maybe even it's $1 million. I just talked to a guy whose dad has 2 policies, $1 million each. He's like my age, and he has access to $2 million. So he's not concerned about long-term care. He has emergency fund for anything that comes up. Now when he goes to Gil and says, I want to buy auto insurance, give me a price for $500 deductible and maybe $5,000 deductible. I got a lot of money in the bank, basically. And you're going to save a lot of money, right, Gil? Same way with your homeowners, health insurance, same way. And you can eliminate cost of disability insurance. Because now you have maybe 2 or 3 years income in your policy. This is a simplified breakdown of a illustration we have to run for the customer. And this gentleman here had some money to buy a boat, $125,000, and he had a bunch of money in the bank. So we did the policy. He took out $128,000 in 2 years, 3 years to buy his boat. And you can see the amount of money he had left. drawing out 36,000 a year for 33 years, if he wants to, if this is his choice on those later years. And I'm running out of time, so I better shut up and sit down.
For how many years?
33 years. Takes him up to 99. That's the trouble when we don't have